What is the minimum spend that I should be putting aside for Facebook advertising?
How do we measure success of a Facebook advertising campaign?
How can I constantly reach fresh audience with my Facebook advertising campaign?
I've got a few thousand people who like my Facebook page, but when I post anything, why am I reaching so few of my friends?
This is where you choose Facebook ads objective. 3 categories, we have awareness, consideration, and conversion. Now let's walk through each and every one of the ad creation options available.
How can we do hyper-location targeting plus ad scheduling? Today we're going to talk about the customer journey, or so-called the Facebook advertising customer journey that you can build, for your audiences.
We try to answer at least 2 to 3 questions every week, and of course from time to time I'll share tips, new findings or new developments when it comes to Facebook advertising. Keep up on the pace of what's about to come, what are the changes that you should be expecting.
Welcome in, guys. This is my daily live session where I talk about Facebook advertising and digital marketing. A very crisp and short live sessions every day. I hope to do this every day. And for those who are new to me, welcome in. My name is Jason from TribeWeb Academy. What I do is I help businesses grow, leveraging on Facebook marketing and Facebook advertising and digital marketing effectively. So I teach about Facebook advertising. So basically today I want to address one very important topic that a lot of people kind of find it confusing, which is how can we create very powerful lookalike audiences that Facebook is offering to us in a more effective way. Now, we actually just completed our 6-day challenge, day 4 training, and it's all about getting to the right people to see our advertisement. Remember, when it comes to Facebook advertising, there are 3 main pillars of that makes a good Facebook advertisement. The first one is you have to be complete, with the right message, which is you have to be able to send the right message, okay, to the right people to command for the right action. So the right message is really essentially the advertisement, where I shared a very important tip yesterday regarding how do we actually get the right advertisement for the 2-step funnel framework. And then after that, once you have the right message, you have to be able to send it to the right people, which is on the audience targeting, which is what we discussed today, and of course to get them to take the right action. Now, when it comes to audiences, essentially Facebook advertising consists of 3 different types of audiences. Let me bring them in. Now, this is a slide that we use, but I won't be able to go through the whole slide with you. But basically, Facebook audience targeting consists of 3. We have core audiences, we have custom audiences, we have lookalike audiences. Essentially, core audiences is what I call the cold audiences, which is complete stranger to your businesses. These are the people who do not know about your product or services, but you believe they might be interested in what you have got to offer. Then custom audiences essentially are the people who have taken certain action, interacted with your ads, visited your website, and things that, visited your page, interacted with your Instagram account. These are the people that you have owned. And then the lookalike audience will be essentially, to derive from people that you have owned. Like, for example, this is what I'm actually going to walk you through. So lookalike audiences essentially are the people that look like the audiences that you have already owned. So for example, if you have, let's say, for example, you have a database of 5,000 phone numbers and you import to Facebook, if Facebook able to match, let's say 3,000 of them, and then you use these 3,000 phone numbers matched to Facebook database to create lookalike audience, then that is a very high quality lookalike audience. Why? Because the criteria here is, according to Facebook Blueprint, in order to create a good lookalike audience, you need to have at least 1,000 inside your seed audience. So if you have an audience, let's say if you have an audience that has less than 1,000 people, then it's not good to use that to create a lookalike audience. Now let me bring that to the screen. Over here now, as you can see here, we have 2 audiences over here. These are the 2 custom audiences, right? Now this one, it says below 1,000. So this is exactly what I mean by if it's below 1,000, no good. You don't want to use that, because Facebook needs about at least 1,000 and above to create good quality, because they need enough data. Essentially, what Facebook is going to do is they're going to analyze these more than 1,000 people that you have, look for their demographics, look for their interest combinations, and they will find other people that look like this group of people. So it's very powerful. So 1,002 is viable, at least it's over 1,000. So what we do here is we click on this, and then we click create lookalike. So this is where we start creating a lookalike audience. So you are essentially creating a lookalike audience based on this audience that you have. This is your custom audiences, right? Of course, you got to name your custom audiences so that you know what the hell is that. Sorry, you know, what is that? Okay, so after that, once you have defined your audience, the next thing is you want to go for the location. I mean, at the moment, it's country. But someone asked if I'm able to go for state. You're not able to. Okay, so you can go by country, for example. Then let's say if I choose Malaysia in this case, and then the next one here is, you know, Facebook asks you whether you want to create how many versions. So different level, this is, like I say, when it comes to Facebook advertising, it's not that complicated. For everything that you do, Facebook will always have this little eye icon that you mouse over. It gives you a very good explanation. Well, most of the time. Okay, so here it says you can create multiple lookalike audiences with different level of similarity to your source. Allows you to bid differently to your audiences with different conversion values. As the the sentence suggests, it's kind of complicated already. But anyway, essentially, let's say when you create two, you're actually creating two sets. Set one is 1%. Set two is 1 to 2%. You can also adjust this thing. Let's say set one is. Wait, can I pull this? Okay, and then I pull this. So I can also pull this further. So set one is 2%, 0 to 2%. Set two is 2 to 4%. I mean, essentially, when you do this, you're creating two sets over here. 2%, 500 over 1,000 people. 2 to 4%, 500 over 1,000 people. So this is how the whole thing works. So I mean, to be frank, not many people would use these features, as in like when you create multiple lookalike, you are really trying to see which level works better for you. But essentially, when we have a smaller scale campaign, we will always just stick to one. Now, when you stick to one, then essentially what you're choosing here is, the percentage. Now, let's say over here, it says 1% is 260,000, 10% is 2.7 million. What does it mean? Now, it really means, it's actually based on the Facebook users in your selected location. So let's say, for example, in Malaysia, we have about 27 million Facebook users in the country. So when you go for 10%, that's 10%. That's 2.7. But if you go to 1%, that's 270,000 people. So what is a good size to start? Now, it depends on your budget, depends on your, campaign consideration. The bigger you go, let's say if you go to 10%, eventually the wider it gets and the more diluted the lookalike audience gets. So, I mean, in my cases, I prefer something ranging from maybe just 3 to 5% because, if 3%, I have about 800,000. And after I use that and I zoom into certain specific location, I go through a little bit of the detailed targeting selections and all that, that will actually zoom in further. I probably will get about 300,000 to 400,000. That's good enough for me because that's realistic to my budget. Okay, in my methodology, I always advocate for a budget that is, as an audience size that is realistic to your budget. So let's say if you're spending, for example, if you're spending like, $5 a day, you don't want to reach an audience size, you don't want to target an audience size with maybe 10 million people. It's going to be a long shot. So that's what I will do. So once you're done, you can actually click create audience and you will be there. So this is how we create lookalike audiences. So basically, in fact, in today's training inside the 6-day challenge, we discussed a very great detail about how to use, the core audiences, how to create the right way in terms of targeting the right audiences, and then how do we use the custom audiences and of course the lookalike audiences. It's a very comprehensive. I think we went through about 1 hour and 15 minutes kind of thing. It's really, really comprehensive. So 6-day challenge essentially is a 6-day training. Every day we will talk about one key topic and essentially to help you build your own 2-step funnel framework for your Facebook ads campaign. So we are now on day 4, but don't worry, if you want to jump in, all the videos are already inside the the group that you can still revisit and go through and follow up with the learning. So if you are interested, basically the link is already in the video description. Please click on that. And of course, you can still tune in to my live session tomorrow. We will go through that again every day, on weekdays, but occasionally on the weekend. So we will come live to discuss one specific key topic about Facebook advertising. Every day is very crisp. It's like 9 minutes now. Actually, we're going to close in 10 minutes. So if you're watching this on YouTube, remember to smack on the subscribe button so that you'll be notified. And on Facebook, click like and follow so that you know whenever I go live. Usually it's about 3:30, but now because we are running this training, it's going to be like right after the training, about 5 something, we will go live. So this is it for today. feel free to ask questions. I will do that. So basically, this is it. I'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.